Being able to live stream on YouTube is an incredible way to grow your business, market yourself, or connect with your audience. And in this video, I'm going to share with you exactly how to do it. Hey Impact Makers, this is Camila Gornia, founder of Heart Behind Hustle TV, where we help impact-driven entrepreneurs to grow and scale their businesses through aligned marketing strategies that turn their brands into movements. Today, I wanted to get a little bit more technical with you and share with you exactly how to use YouTube as a live streaming platform, because sometimes you want to do a webinar and you might not be ready to purchase webinar software, for example, or maybe you want to do an additional training for your audience in a way that's a little bit more private. Maybe you want to create a training for your customers and you don't necessarily want to go through all the process of like, this is a fancy webinar and it's all crazy official. You could potentially also use a YouTube live stream to answer some questions for a training or doing a demo or something like that. And lastly, using YouTube broadcasts and live streams is a great way to live stream your events. If you're ever doing in-person events or retreats or workshops, this is mainly how I use YouTube live streaming, and I make it available just for my clients or customers who have purchased a live stream ticket, and they're able to feel like they're in the room with us without having to actually be there. So I'm going to walk you through exactly from A to Z how to set everything up. And if you want to do that last thing with using it to live stream your events potentially, I'll share with you how to embed it and make it a really easy to access thing without having to be there right on the spot and emailing people the exact link and stuff like that. So you can really customize your experience and make it very branded to you. So I'm going to go ahead and log into my computer and show you how to do it.
There are going to be two screencasts I'm going to do. This first one are just the steps for setting up your YouTube live stream, a pre-scheduled YouTube live stream. You do want to make sure that you pre-schedule them so that you're going to be letting your audience know you're going live and making sure that they have a link to watch you go live, because otherwise how are they going to show up, right? Unless you already have a lot of subscribers on YouTube, which most of you probably don't, because you're probably not even using YouTube in this way, right? You're probably just focusing on growing your business, your online business, maybe you have a Facebook group, whatever you want to do, a webinar or live stream. You want to just get people this link. And then the next screencast, I'll show you how to do the extra bonus thing on creating a branded experience. So this is what I do when I do live streams for my live events, in-person events. And I'll just show you like a quickie way of doing that yourself, which is super, super, super easy. But the first steps you have to do is you have to be on YouTube and logged into your YouTube channel. So you don't actually have to have a YouTube channel, but you do have to have an account set up. Even if you have no videos, that's fine. But you click on this button on the top right corner, and then you go to go live. And YouTube is going to force you to go to this very complicated black page where you have to set up all the details. And honestly, I think this is the more complicated way to set everything up, which I do not recommend. So instead, we're going to click on this button that says Classic Live Streaming. This is honestly way easier for me, and that's what I use to set up my live streams right now. So this is what you're going to be seeing here. This is the Stream Now page. So if you're ever like streaming right at that moment, you can go in here and do all the things in here. This is not what I ever do because I don't typically go live for my audience on YouTube. That's not how I'm using YouTube at this current moment. So instead, you're going to click under this live streaming section. You're going to go into events. And then you're going to go ahead and click on schedule new event, or you can do this button that says new live event. And this is where you're going to share all the details. So I might say something like webinar. You have to set the date. So let's say it's this time. Maybe it's at 5 Pacific. And then usually this is going to just have nothing in here for you if you are not using YouTube and if you don't have these pre-populated. And that's fine. You don't really have to have anything in here if you're not doing it for your audience on YouTube. If you're doing it as a webinar, you don't really need anything in here. You also don't need any tags, so you can get rid of that. No, don't need to add anything in here. And the big thing is you want to make sure it is listed, unlisted, because if it's public, then everybody on YouTube is going to be able to see it, including people that are subscribed to your channel. And if this is a webinar, or if it's a live stream to an event where people bought tickets to the live stream event, you want to make sure that only those people have access to this. So I keep it as unlisted. If you do public, everybody will be able to see it on your channel. And then you set it as quick. And that's pretty much that. You click on create event. And that is now created. So what you basically want to do, if you ever need to edit things in here, you can change things out. We're not usually going to be doing things like this here. And then also if you're streaming, you can have a live control room in here so you can actually see the chat and things like that. I usually don't really go in there very much because I'm just broadcasting and I'm not usually engaging with people. But you can. So to give people the link, you're going to click on view on watch page. And you can actually send people this link right here. This is the link to this broadcast. If you go back down, you'll notice this is the URL. So this is the URL you can send people to. You know, you're like, hey, this is when it's happening, blah, 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 go ahead and go live. And this is the link you share it with them. And then this, you know, this is scheduled for whenever. And then they can actually chat in here and all that good stuff, which is pretty fun. So how do you actually go live? So let's say that it is now the time and they can set a reminder, all that good stuff, which is pretty cool. So let's go back and let me show you how to actually go live. So I'm going to go back to, whoops, sorry about that. I'm going to go back to this event section. So anytime that you're like, okay, I'm ready to go live, awesome. You're typically in the creator studio and it's not the beta. So if you're like, oh my gosh, how do I find this? You come back here. I do recommend that you just save this URL right here so you can easily find this. But in case that ever happens where you can't find it, you can go to creator studio, and this is the classic creator studio, but sometimes it won't be as easy to get to the regular classic creator studio. So it will take you to the studio beta. And if you ever get landed in the studio beta, and you're like, where do I go and where do I find it? Because it's like, I don't know. I don't think it's that much easier, to be honest. You just click on this button on the bottom, this Creator Studio Classic, and then you will be taken back to the Classic. And then you can easily find the live streaming section right here. You can expand it. Come on now. What's happening? All right, let me refresh this. Looks like my Chrome is bugging out. What's happening? There we go. And then go into events. And then what you're going to do when you actually are ready to go live is you're going to click on Start Hangout on Air. And this is going to start the Hangout on Air. Hi. And this is just going to load a little bit, so you notice there is a percentage where it's loading. And let me just make it so you can see how this actually looks like. And you can play with you can see the chat here, so people will be able to chat. You can screen share by clicking on this button. So if you ever need to screen share for your webinar, you can do that quite easily. And there's other, I don't know if you actually see the control room. Yeah, I think, yeah, you do. Control room is a new thing. Okay, so then when you're ready to go, you just click on Start Broadcast and you're going to be live. And then people that have gone to that YouTube link that you shared with them, they're going to be able to see you live, and then they can engage with you and chat with you. And you know, I can go and I can do the training, and then I'm like, oh, now I have slides, so I can click on this blue button here. I can find the, you know, the screen sharing, you know, whatever link I want to screen share for a presentation, and then keep going. And when you're done, you just click this again. It's going to turn into a red button that says End Broadcast, and that's it. Really, really freaking easy, right? So that's what you do. Okay, but now how do you create a more customized experience? So let's say that instead of sending people to this YouTube link, you want to create a more branded experience that's nice, where people can't really share that with anybody else. So what you can do is there's two ways that I have done this. I usually would just go into my, my WordPress site. And you could, you know, you can create an account for people and stuff like that. If you have a membership site, you can do it within a membership site too. So it doesn't really matter which option you use here, but I'm going to share with you how to do it within WordPress, because you probably have WordPress. So I would just go ahead and click on Create a New Page. And often I use ClickFunnels too. So I have done it on ClickFunnels too, but it's the same thing. So And then I'll name this something like testing webinar or something like that. And I will have to, I don't remember which one that is. Crap. I think it's the full width, or maybe it's the no container. I don't remember which one it is. This is based on my own template, so you don't have to worry about that one, that part of it. But let's just keep it at the default. And you want to make sure that the visibility is password protected, and you can set the password. Whatever, I'm just going to say password. And then when people are buying this thing, you can tell them, hey, this is a password, and this is for more purchase items. So if someone's purchasing a live stream ticket, you can give them, hey, this is a password, like, you know, come up here. So if someone randomly finds this link, they won't be able to actually log in unless they have this password, and this is the password for everybody. But if it's live, if it's just a webinar, you can make it public. It doesn't really matter because you still need the link, the direct link to find this. So it doesn't really matter which one you use, but I'm just going to use this password protected thing. I'm going to just click on publish. And let's say I'm going to add the headline here, webinar title, and I'll just make it nice and big. And this is what you want to do. So you would go into the text section, and you don't actually have to do it through text, but I'm just going to show you, because if you're using ClickFunnels and stuff like that, you just want to find the HTML code. But if I go, let's see, if I go to this watch page, you just have to grab the embed code to embed this video. So I will click on share. What happened? Ah, why is this happening? Man, my Chrome is bugging out. Okay, well, you would click on the share button and then grab the HTML code and then plug it in. But something else I can do, because I am using WordPress, is I can actually grab this entire link, and I can go into the visual, and I can just paste this in, and this will show up here as well, and then update it. I don't know what's going on with my Chrome or YouTube today, guys. Sorry about that. Sounds like something weird is happening, but I basically just told you what to do. So now it's password protected. I'm going to type in the password. And there it is. And then once it's live, I would just say something in here when it's embedded. I would, you know, say above here, underneath here, like, hey, but refresh this page at this time to make sure it's actually going live, because sometimes people are going to be sitting here and they're not refreshing. I don't think it actually starts automatically. They actually have to click on this play button for this to go live. So you do want to make sure you let people know this, but this is how you can create a branded experience, and then you can actually embed this anywhere you want. You can embed it on a ClickFunnels page, you can embed it on your WordPress site, you can do whatever you want with it. It doesn't have to be within YouTube, which is pretty cool. And if you want to add a chat thing, you can do something like chat role, and you can embed a chat role here. And this is a chat platform. It's not free, but you can that way you can really customize the experience in a pretty cool way as well. So that's that.
All right, so hopefully this video was helpful. If you enjoyed it, please go ahead and make sure that you subscribe to this channel and give it a thumbs up. Now, if you know someone that needs help setting up their own YouTube live streams, especially with the embedding thing that I talked about, please go ahead and share this video so I know that you liked it, and I'll make sure to share more future videos around tutorials and marketing tactical things that might help you even more in growing your business. So I super appreciate you. And if you do use this strategy, and if you do use this tutorial, just let me know in the comments. Let me know, hey, I did it. Thanks so much. I really, really love your comments and your feedback. It's exactly what helps me grow and makes me motivated to keep creating videos for you. So thank you again, and I'll see you in the next video.